In February, the war in Ukraine will pass the 2-year mark. It's been 22 months since Russian forces first started their special military operation, as they like to call it. In the past year, neither Ukraine nor Russia had relevant territorial gains, despite both sides investing large amounts of men and resources in offensive actions. 2023 has been the year of the highly anticipated Ukrainian counteroffensive. Unfortunately, we can now say that it wasn't successful. The objective of the counteroffensive was to attack in 2 directions, in the western part of the Zaporizhia region towards Melitopol and another towards Berdyansk, in order to reach the Azov Sea. However, Ukrainians were met by a tough Russian resistance, mainly because Russians had a lot of time to prepare their defenses, building trenches and laying mines. This caused Ukrainians to work in smaller groups and at night, which greatly slowed down their offensive. For example, it was planned that they would conquer the village of Robotyne after 3 days. However, they could only conquer it after 82 days. Then, at the end of the year, Russians started their offensive. They mainly focused on attacking in the directions of Avdiivka and Bakhmut. It's estimated that Russia has over 100,000 troops nearby these 2 cities. However, these attacks also weren't very successful, especially if compared to the high amount of losses that they're suffering. According to U.S. intelligence, Russia has lost over 13,000 soldiers in Avdiivka. The Russians, however, despite being one of the biggest armies in the world, has a big problem: they lack officers. This is why Russians often rely on sending several meat waves attack that Ukrainians easily repel with artillery fire and FPV drones. Ukrainians, however, can only repel so much, and that's why they've adopted a new strategy. They let Russians waste as many men and vehicles in meat waves attack, and when they become too much, they retreat to the next trench, which causes Russians to suffer incredible amounts of losses for small pieces of territory. For example, it's estimated that in Avdiivka, Russia has 10,000 casualties for every square kilometer they occupy. So what should Ukraine do in 2024? Well, firstly and most importantly, it should increase the number of advanced armament that it has, either by getting it from its NATO allies or by start producing weapons and ammunitions in Ukraine. They have already started doing that. For example, they have signed a contract with German manufacturer Rheinmetall to produce in Ukraine the advanced IFV Lynx KF-41 and the APC Fuchs EVO. These 2 are some of the most advanced armored vehicles in the world, and if mass-produced, they can definitely help Ukraine defeat Russia. Also, Ukraine has to start producing FPV and long-range drones and artillery shells, as they are some of the most used in the war. Without them, Ukraine certainly cannot perform offensive actions. Next, Ukrainians should start building trenches and laying down minefields. This will have the effect of slowing down Russian offensive, because it will force them to operate in small numbers, which will make irrelevant Russia's numerical advantage. Ukraine is already starting to build new defense lines, especially near Avdiivka and Bakhmut. These efforts, combined with the great use of FPV drones that we've seen so far, will prove Russian advantage in armored vehicles and tanks. The last key factor which will allow Ukraine to win is to cancel Russia's advantage in the skies and in the Black Sea. While Ukraine has been doing a great job so far, I think that they can also do more with the new Western equipment coming in 2024. Just in the last weeks of 2023, Russia lost 3 aircrafts which were hit by the Patriot air defense system and lost the Novocherkassk landing ship in the port of Feodosia. The Novocherkassk is a 112 meters long amphibious assault ship, and it was used to store Iranian Shahed drones and large amounts of artillery shells, which caused such a big explosion. All in all, Ukraine can still win the war. However, it has to ramp up internal production of weapons and ammunition, and its allies have to wake up and send more armament to Ukraine. The brave Ukrainians have already proven multiple times their bravery and ability in combat. They just need enough resources to repel the Russians and then do an offensive which can break Russian lines. The situation at the moment is difficult. However, the outlook on 2024 is positive. They're set to receive more than 50 Western-made F-16 fighter jets and several other IFV, such as the CV-90 and the Lynx KF-41. They're going to mobilize another 500,000 soldiers, and Ukrainian engineers are creating innovative solutions such as sea drones. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe.